Hi, welcome to another episode of Amina. Today is the continuation of Nigeria Candidly. So we're speaking about Nigeria truly from Nigerians and the Nigerians who have had to become diasporans for those candid reasons. So on this interview is with me Barrister Augustine Ogbede Uchechi, OAU Esquire. You can find him on Facebook. Please follow him. You can go do a Google search and you will find him. All right. So we're speaking candidly, not what you're told on the media or not what it's made to look like. This is the truth. What really is the true situation in Nigeria. So please stay tuned, leave your comments, and don't forget to share and subscribe. Turn on the notification so that you know when I upload another video. And thank you so much for watching and for all your efforts. I don't take them for granted. Do well to share your candid opinions as well and let me know where you're watching from. All right, thank you. What specifically is wrong? What is it that the government isn't doing that is causing this to be such a problem? And it's not just started recently, even after we witnessed the elections, the 2023 elections. It's been a problem for years. People have always sought to leave Nigeria, and it's getting even worse. And speculations have it that it's going to even become worse because of the recent elections in Nigeria. So, what is it that the government is not getting right? What are the expectations of the people that are not being met? Why are the people choosing, at the end of the day, to emigrate from Nigeria?
Okay, you see, there are many factors that, propel people to travel from one place to the other. People are motivated to travel because of, they are pursuing better opportunities. There are many people who want to travel out or change their location because of, the fact that they want to find themselves in a place where they will find better opportunities. It could be an opportunity to get a job. It could be an opportunity, to move to a place where there is security of lives and property. You can see in Nigeria today, the kidnapping stuff, insecurity is so high in Nigeria, despite the fact that Nigeria is a very religious, deeply religious nation per se. China is an irreligious nation. In fact, let me tell you this, the population of the people in China is about 1,520 million people. But in Nigeria, we have about 200 and above million people, but yet we can't even secure ourselves. Now, in comparison, the population of the people in Africa is about 1 billion, somewhere 200 and something million people. And don't forget that Africa is a continent and China is a nation. You see, China is a nation, the Asian giant, just like Nigeria is the African giant. But the Chinese people the population of the Chinese people, is far greater than the population of the whole nation, Africa.
The whole continent.
The whole continent, Africa. Mm-hmm. You see, but China is an irreligious nation. About 73% of the population of the people in China don't go to church. They don't go to They don't go to mosque. They are not subscribed to any particular religious organization. But if you go to Nigeria, Nigeria is a deeply religious nation. They can even, you can see, some religious, people killing each other. You understand? In the name of religion. We have churches in Nigeria. In fact, the majority of the population of Nigeria is, Muslims. They are Muslims. Now, like we have about over 50, maybe around 51% of the population are Muslims.
Okay.
Then, the other, side are Christians.
Okay.
You understand? And these are people, every Friday, the Muslims go to their mosque, and, on every Sunday, you see the Christian people, they go to their, their church. Some of them go to their night vigils and they do their stuff. They pray deeply, but yet we can't secure ourselves.
Yeah.
You see. So an irreligious nation like China, China does not subscribe to any particular religious, inclination. But yet, they are able to secure themselves. But the people who claim to be religious and praying cannot secure a very smaller, number
of people. So from what I'm hearing from you now, that you've pointed out three major things that are the problem here in Nigeria. You say, one, that people want to be able to work. People want to find employment, gainful employment. And then two, you say people want to feel secure. People need security. And then three, you're also pointing out very strongly and passionately about religion, that the country is highly religious. And with all the religiousness is what is breeding a lot of disputes and problems. And now which is so passionate, the religious factions, the major religious groups, they are very passionate, and so it's causing problems within the society.
Yes.
All right. Apart from these three things, are there other things and how does this really build up to people leaving the country?
You see, our major problem as a nation, Nigeria, number one, is religion.
Okay.
Religion, that's our biggest problem. Any nation that wants to survive, they make sure that they tame religion. You see, we have a very serious problem. If I can tell you the number of people that have been killed in the history of humanity in the name of religion, you will see that religion is a monster. It's the biggest monster. And thank God, Christ never brought religion. He never introduced religion. He brought the kingdom. And that's what he preached.
What kingdom are you referring to?
The kingdom of God. That's government. When we talk about kingdom, we are talking about government. Christ never brought religion. Religion. Okay. I used to, when I started my journey into Christianity, I read something that was ascribed to a man known as Karl Marx, who said something that religion is the opium of the people. It's like, an opium is like a drug, tranquilizer, kind of. When you are a religious person, or maybe you can do something, and the moment they play that religious card, you feel like, yes, I did it, So he understudied religion and came to a conclusion that religion is the opium of the... I used to be very angry with that man until I discovered what religion has done.
So what do you mean by that, religion being the opium of society?
Sorry. Religion being the opium of the people, like what he meant was, if we do something wrong, we placate ourselves in the name of religion. You understand? Oh, my religion supports it. My religion. You know why somebody can take bomb and plant on his body and and go and explode the bomb where majority of people are in order to kill them because he believes that his religion will make him to go to heaven after
that
killing
there are some
infidels.
benefits
Yes,
from that.
there are some benefits, so that is our biggest problem. And until we remove religion from government, we will never succeed as a nation. And that's why if you come to Nigeria today, Nigeria is deeply divided as a result of faith. And remember, recently we had a presidential election where a particular, political party fielded the same faith, because their religion, their faith. He wants to win election because he believes that his religion will help him. And so it will, make us to recycle, we will continue recycling people who are not capable of steering the affairs of the nation.
Just before we leave that point of, people being biased in the country and it's affecting our political structure because of religion, how about the tribal biases that is very strong, very evident in the country? Isn't that also the same problem?
It's the same problem.
And how did that play into the election, and how has that been playing into the problem, and putting that alongside the religious biases or sentiments as well?
Yes, religion is part of our problem as a nation, and like I said, if we can outlaw anything that has to do with religious and tribalistic dichotomy in Nigeria, we will have a nation. We will begin to tell ourselves the truth. Tribal biases are there, and in fact, the last election that was held actually revealed some of our weaknesses. In fact, especially the tribal aspect of our, national life.
Okay, when you speak about outlawing, that's very interesting. I mean, I begin to see things very differently from that point. But what does that really look like when you say when we begin to outlaw based on religion and tribalism? What do you mean?
What
would it look like?
It will look very well. The nation Rwanda had.
As in, what would this outlawing like in terms of laws being set? What could these laws be, for example?
It will. What I mean is that, when people play that card, tribal sentiments and religious sentiments, they could be arrested and prosecuted.
Now, in what ways? Now, how are you going to put it into law? Like, what could that law state that outlaws religious or tribal sentiments? Give us an example, if you wouldn't mind.
No, what I actually mean is that we need to, criminalize these things. Not.
How do you criminalize? How do you put it under a limb? How do you term under a law? How do you term it? How do you, for example, articulate it in such a way that it could be passed into law? And how do you itemize these problems, for example?
You see, that will be the work of the legislatures, and I know that such laws are, they have such laws in Rwanda.
For example, what is it like?
Like in Rwanda, remember, there were two tribes that were engulfed in a very acrimonious, civil.
Yeah, that a tribe
conflict.
Wanted to wipe out another tribe.
Yes, a tribe wanted to wipe out another. So now what the government did was they made sure that they put a law whereby if anybody plays those tribal sentiments, the person can be arrested. So it's as good as, passing a law on hate speech, whereby you say if anybody makes any comment that is hateful, that person can be prosecuted. I think the moment we start doing that, that's when we'll start, navigating ourselves towards the path of nation.
Is this something you've thought about before, or was it something that came to mind during the course of this conversation about specifically outlawing religious and tribal sentimental behaviors that are playing into political spaces and all of that?
Yeah, it's something that is very obvious. You don't even need to think about it, because you see, from what played out in the last election,